we gonna do about you? Weird here. It's comfy, but it's just, I don't know.
Frida, a young woman in her late 20s, idly scrolling through her phone. She stumbles upon a series of news articles and video interviews about Slater King, a disgraced billionaire. Once a successful entrepreneur known for his extravagant lifestyle and charisma, Slater had fallen from grace due to a scandal involving inappropriate behavior. Despite his tarnished reputation, he is determined to rebuild his image, hoping that the public will forgive him and allow him to continue his lavish lifestyle. Frida watches the interviews with a mix of curiosity and skepticism, wondering if people like him can ever truly change. Frida and her best friend Jess both work as cocktail waitresses, making ends meet by serving drinks at high-end events. Tonight, they are working at a gala hosted by none other than Slater King's company. The event is glamorous, filled with wealthy guests dressed in designer outfits, and the atmosphere is electric with the buzz of luxury and power. As they serve drinks, Jess reveals that she has smuggled in 2 elegant dresses for them to wear, hoping to sneak into the party as guests rather than just serving staff. Excited by the idea of mingling with the elite, Frida agrees, and the two of them quickly change into the dresses and begin to walk around the event, blending in with the other attendees. However, things take a turn when Frida's heel breaks, causing her to stumble and crash into a waiter, drawing unwanted attention to herself. Just as she's trying to recover, Slater King himself appears, charmingly coming to her rescue. With a suave smile, he helps her back on her feet and even breaks off her other heel to even her out. Frida is flustered but intrigued by his smooth demeanor. Slater then introduces her to a group of his wealthy and influential friends, making her feel like she's part of their exclusive circle. By the end of the night, Slater invites both Frida and Jess to join him and his friends on a getaway to his private island. The offer is too tempting to refuse, and the two friends eagerly accept. The next day, Frida and Jess fly out to Slater's secluded island, joining an eclectic group of people. Among them are Rich, a therapist with an air of superiority; Vic, a brooding photographer; Cody, a private chef known for his culinary talents; Tom, a carefree DJ; Lucas, a recent college graduate who seems a bit out of place; Sarah, Cody's reality TV star girlfriend; and Camilla and Heather, 2 party girls who seem more interested in having a good time than anything else. Upon arrival, they are greeted by Slater's efficient and somewhat cold assistant, Stacy, who promptly confiscates everyone's phones, explaining that it's to ensure privacy and help them disconnect from the outside world. Frida is shown to her luxurious room, where she finds a beautifully packaged bottle of perfume waiting for her. Without thinking much of it, she sprays some on herself, enjoying the pleasant scent. However, her attention is soon drawn to a maid who enters the room. The maid seems distant and odd, only able to utter the words "Red Rabbit" before leaving abruptly. Frida finds the encounter strange but brushes it off, attributing it to the stress of being on such a remote island. At first, the island seems like a paradise. The guests spend their days lounging by the pool, sipping cocktails, and enjoying the breathtaking views. The atmosphere is relaxed, and everyone appears to be having a good time. Slater takes Frida on a private tour of the island, showing her the beautiful landscapes and discussing some of the challenges of maintaining such a large property. He casually mentions that the island has a problem with snakes, which his staff are responsible for dealing with. As they walk, Frida tells him about her small business, where she creates nail art inspired by animals. Slater seems genuinely interested, making her feel special and important. They pass Stacy, who is carrying several red gift bags, but Frida doesn't think much of it at the time. That evening, the group gathers for dinner, indulging in gourmet food prepared by Cody, and enjoying drinks and conversation. As the night progresses, they all take drops of MDMA as part of the festivities, heightening the party atmosphere. Frida wakes up the next morning in her bed, feeling disoriented. She notices that a red stain on her dress from the previous night has mysteriously vanished. Confused, she wonders if someone cleaned it while she was sleeping, but she has no memory of it happening. As the days pass, Frida starts to notice other strange occurrences. She experiences brief flashes of memory that don't seem to make sense, and she begins waking up to find odd things like dirt under her fingernails, even though she doesn't remember doing anything that would cause it. Her sense of unease grows, and she becomes increasingly suspicious of the island and its inhabitants. One day, she tries to return Slater's vape pen to him, but when she does, he reintroduces her to Rich, even though she distinctly remembers meeting him at the gala. The interaction leaves her feeling even more unsettled. Meanwhile, Jess starts noticing strange things as well. She becomes suspicious when she sees the maid who spoke to Frida handling some of the snakes on the property. The maid's behavior seems off, and Jess begins to wonder if there's more going on than meets the eye. One night, while the group is partying, Jess screams out in pain after being bitten by a snake. Slater quickly kills the snake and has Jess's wound treated, but the incident shakes her. She confides in Frida, telling her that she feels something is wrong on the island. Jess's paranoia increases when she starts getting nosebleeds, a symptom that seems to come out of nowhere. The next day, Frida searches for Slater but instead encounters the maid again. The maid offers her a strange liquor made from snake venom, which Frida hesitantly drinks. The taste is bitter and unpleasant, but Frida drinks it down. Later, she starts noticing more odd details, like Sarah having a mysterious bruise on her arm. But the most alarming discovery is that Jess is missing. Even more disturbing, Camilla and Heather don't seem to remember Jess at all. They are using the same lighter Jess had shared with them throughout the trip, yet they act as though she never existed. Frida panics and runs back to her room, where she finds a knife hidden behind the mirror. As she stares at the knife, she experiences a sudden flashback of Jess telling her to hide it, reinforcing her fear that something terrible is happening on the island. Desperate for answers, Frida confides in Sarah, who has also started to sense that something is wrong. Together, they sneak into a room where Frida had previously seen the red gift bags. Inside, they find more of the snake venom liquor. They realize that the perfume, made from a particular flower, is causing the women to lose their memories, while the snake venom seems to counteract its effects, helping them remember. Determined to uncover the truth, they trick Camilla and Heather into drinking the venom by mixing it with tequila. Stacy joins them, unknowingly consuming the venom as well, which begins to unravel the sinister plot hidden beneath the island's idyllic surface. As the group gets increasingly intoxicated, Frida seizes the opportunity to sneak into Slater's office to find their confiscated phones. Sarah keeps watch, ready to signal Frida if anything happens. Inside the office, Frida hides when Slater, Stacy, and Stan, Slater's imposing bodyguard, enter the room. While concealed, she rummages through Slater's belongings and stumbles upon a collection of photographs from a previous trip to the island. As she flips through the images, she suddenly experiences a severe nosebleed, triggering a flood of memories. She recalls herself and the other women tied up, terrified and vulnerable. Jess had remembered everything earlier, which is why Slater had ordered Stan to kill her by snapping her neck. Now that Frida's memories are returning, she realizes the extent of the horrors that have taken place on the island. Frida manages to escape the office and shares everything she's learned with Sarah. That evening, over dinner, Frida's memories continue to resurface. She remembers that the men had been drugging and assaulting the women, using the perfume to erase their memories of the traumatic events. Rich had assaulted Frida at the gala, which is why he was so shocked when she recognized him earlier. Determined to take action, Frida and Sarah orchestrate a plan. They get everyone to start dancing, using the distraction to figure out their next move. As the night progresses, Camilla and Heather's memories return as well. Fueled by rage, Camilla grabs a knife and stabs Tom in the neck, killing him instantly. Heather, in a similar fit of anger, attempts to kill Vic by smashing him with a chessboard, but Stan intervenes, shooting Heather in the head and killing her on the spot. Chaos erupts as the remaining guests scramble to make sense of what's happening. Stan, loyal to Slater, hunts down Frida with the intent to kill her. However, Sarah manages to intervene, bashing Stan's head in with a rock and ending his reign of terror. Meanwhile, the remaining men take Camilla hostage in Slater's villa. In a horrifying display of power, Slater steps on Camilla's neck until she suffocates, killing her in front of everyone. Frida, hiding outside, is soon discovered by Stacy, who is furious with her for making her remember the abuse she had suffered at the hands of Slater and the other men. Stacy attacks Frida in a fit of rage, blaming her for forcing her to confront the trauma she had been forced to forget. A fierce struggle ensues, with Stacy overpowering Frida at first, but Frida manages to grab a knife and stab Stacy in the heart, killing her. Panting and shaken, Frida barely has time to process what she's done before she hears more commotion outside. Sarah, meanwhile, has chased Cody into the woods. Fueled by a need for revenge, she corners him and brutally kills him, taking satisfaction in knowing that another one of their tormentors is dead. Lucas, the only one who hadn't participated in the atrocities, begins to remember everything he had witnessed the men do to the women. The guilt and fear overwhelm him. But before he can act on it, Frida and Sarah arrive at the villa, determined to confront Slater once and for all. As they approach, Lucas opens the door to let them in, but a gunshot rings out, and Lucas falls to the ground, dead from a bullet to the head. Frida and Sarah are momentarily stunned, but quickly regain their focus as they step into the villa to face Slater. Inside, Slater is waiting for them, his confidence beginning to waver as he realizes the extent of the chaos around him. A brief fight breaks out between Frida and Slater. He is physically stronger, but Frida is fueled by the memories of everything he has done to her and the other women. As they struggle, more memories flood back into Frida's mind. She remembers being on the island the previous year, where she had managed to escape, but ultimately forgot everything due to the flower toxin. She recalls the scar on her head, caused by Slater letting her fall onto a rock and even biting off Vic's pinky in a desperate attempt to defend herself. Slater, sensing that he's losing control, goes on a rant, blaming everyone but himself for the situation. In a moment of desperation, he hits his vape pen, only to become disoriented and confused. Frida had cleverly spiked the vape pen with the flower toxin, causing him to forget everything that had just transpired. Now, completely disoriented, Slater looks around at the dead bodies scattered across the room, panic setting in as he tries to make sense of it all. As the tension mounts, Slater accidentally knocks over some candles, igniting the room. The fire spreads quickly, consuming the villa. Frida, determined to survive and ensure Slater faces the consequences of his actions, drags his disoriented body out of the burning building. Inside, Vic is left behind, doomed to die in the flames. Once outside, Frida appears to be talking to Sarah, but when the camera pans out, it becomes clear that she is alone, speaking to an unconscious Slater while watching the villa burn to the ground. The weight of everything that has happened begins to sink in, and Frida realizes that her life will never be the same after this ordeal. Sometime later, Frida is seen at another gala event, once again alongside Slater, who's now completely under her control due to the flower toxin she continues to administer through his vape pen. Slater appears docile and compliant, a shadow of his former self. As Frida surveys the room, she spots Rich, who looks visibly nervous upon seeing her. It's clear that he remembers what he did to her, and now he fears the consequences. In a final twist, the host of the event introduces Frida as both Slater's wife and the new CEO of his company. She has not only survived the horrors of the island, but has emerged as a powerful force in her own right, now in control of the empire that once belonged to the men who tried to destroy her. And that's all for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to Recap Nest for more amazing thriller stories like this. Stay safe and see you next time.